welcome you. This is part 2 of the Insurance Advisors Direct Sales Tactics and Strategy to Grow Your Business. Last week we did sales and marketing tactics to grow your business, and we talked more about marketing strategies. So if you happen to miss that, feel free to go on to either our YouTube channel, that is up for viewing, or if you're connected with us on LinkedIn, it is also on our LinkedIn page, or you can go into our agent portal on our website at iadbrokerage.com, and those videos are also hosted there. So again, plenty of ways that you can review the first part of this, and here we are on to the second part, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the sales side of this and not so much on the marketing side of this. So again, thank you for joining us. My name is Jason McClellan with Insurance Advisors Direct, and certainly we hope that we can offer some additional insight and ideas that you can put into practice to benefit you and your clients in your sales and the growth of your business. So again, let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to talk today about some tactics related to sales. You'll notice from our first session we did tactics related to marketing, but how important it is to turn those tactics into strategy. And today we're going to talk about tactics within sales and how they can be effective, but how they're most effective when used together in a true strategy fashion. So we're going to talk more about that and kind of tie these two sessions together. So one of the questions, and there's a number of questions we're going to review today together, is do you come prepared? You know, this is another important area that we see a lot of advisors. Maybe they're newer to the industry, but they're not quite sure what to do ahead of time, how to be prepared. And it's extremely important to be prepared for a number of reasons. Now, for example, here we put up a couple of slides or pictures related more to Medicare. So depending on the product line that you're representing, depending on what you're going in to meet with these prospects about or with these clients of yours about, it's extremely important to be prepared. How do you do that? What do you utilize? Those are some of the questions that you really need to answer. So for example, if we consider the example of a Medicare supplement or Medicare sale, we would want to know more about that individual. Now, if we can gather information ahead of time, that's extremely valuable. Do we know where they live, the zip code, the county? Do we know anything about their health history, their lifestyle, their family, their age, hopefully? Do we know anything about whether they're married, not married, what kind of medications they're taking? Now, some of those items I just mentioned might be difficult to get from somebody if this is a first-time meeting, a new prospect that you're meeting with. They may not be so inclined to share those details with you. But if you have a lead or if it's a referral, at minimum, you probably know where they live, the zip code, or the county that they reside in, and you probably have their age. So in this example, it would be smart to go on, do some research, check to see which plans are available in that area, both on a Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement side, which benefits would make the most sense or maybe the most popular in that area, which Medicare Supplement products are most competitively priced. You might want to run a couple of plans, N, G. Aside from that, you might want to know what the prescription drug plans look like in that area. You might want to also be prepared with some information on dental vision. If it's not embedded in the Medicare Advantage product, you might want to have a hospital indemnity plan prepared. So again, that's all about preparation, and it doesn't have to take a long time, but at least sitting down, giving it some thought, and at least knowing what you're going to get into or what kind of direction you're going to go when you're in that home. As you're able to ask other questions, as you're able to better understand them, you're now better able to diagnose the better solution for them because you did some homework. So how do you get prepared? And some of that is important to consider as we lead into our next portion, of this, which is how do you collect that information, or what information do you collect? So here you see a couple client profile sheets that we produce for our agents, and we have a number of versions of these. So we'd be happy to send them to you if you're contracted with us and if these benefit to you. But these are important for a couple of reasons. First off, it gives us a more professional look as we're meeting with somebody, and we're actually taking time to ask about them. You know, sometimes, and we see this all too often, salespeople get in, they already have their pre-planned agenda, they have their presentation, and they pull that out and it's just go. And they don't do a great job at stopping, listening, asking questions. So how much more professional it is to be prepared, to come in, to collect some information. These forms help you to diagnose what is that person's questions, concerns, their budget, what kind of health and other issues might you need to take into consideration. All that plays into a solution. If you don't ask a question and you're able to come up with a solution, I guess is either you're just giving them a canned solution, or you're just really good at reading minds, I guess, because it's really difficult to be prepared without asking some important questions, understanding their concerns. The other thing this does is this prepares you for really having a full engagement with them as a client. What we want to see is we want to see that those clients, their other needs are met, their other concerns are met. Maybe they can offer some referrals to you of family members and friends. Some of these forms, if done properly, will tell you all of that information. And it's not to overwhelm them at that moment. It's not to overwhelm you. Some of that information could literally be taken back. Maybe you're helping them with one particular product, one particular concern of theirs, but now you can pull this form out, whether it's on your annual review or however frequent you do that. You can take a look at these other items that might be of concern to them. You can again get prepared for that next meeting and go in knowing that that is something that you've spoken about and that it is a concern to them, or it's something that they're concerned about with their family. Because think about it this way. You know, even if you can concentrate on one product and you're an expert in that area, that's great. But we hope you're an expert in all areas of concern that your clients might have, or at least partner with somebody that can help assist them through that process. Because I can't think of one person, including myself, family and friends that I know, that have one insurance policy in their home. We all have probably a multitude of insurance products. Well, where did we get those from? Where do our clients get those from? We hope if we're doing a great job and we know we're good at our job, that they'll be getting those from us. But without knowing that there's a need, without asking questions and being able to prepare a presentation or a solution for that, it's extremely difficult to get into those other products. So again, just another very professional way to interact with your clients initially and be prepared for future cross-selling opportunities. Next question we want to ask ourselves, or the next tactic, is what is your educational process? Okay, because we know in today's day, and we've all heard this 100 times, it's been preached to us over and over again, we say it all the time, but today's selling environment is more about education. It's less about selling. It's less about pressuring somebody into something and more about educating them on their current coverage, taking into consideration their current needs and concerns, their budget, and then offering a very important solution that can help them in explaining and addressing their questions. But again, it's all about education. People are smart. They can do research online. They come pretty prepared in some cases, and you need to do a better job at educating. So, for example, here, what do you do? How do you educate, whether it's through a virtual sale, screen sharing method, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's in a group setting? How are you educating your clients? Off to the right here, you see this image. This is just a few of the sales pieces that we provide to our agents. Anything from PowerPoint presentations in a group setting to individual pieces that can help explain to them what coverage they're looking at, what coverage they currently have, what their potential risk and exposure is, and then you can complete that solution by showing them what options they can choose on the insurance side. But again, talk to agents. Talk to agents that have been doing this for a long time or are new to this industry, and they don't have much of a presentation. They might just pull out a notepad, make some notes, kind of talk through it with their client. And for some, that might work. But we find that people need to be better educated. They need to know what these plans do for them, how important they are, because not only is that going to make your client feel more comfortable, but that business is going to be a bit stickier. It's going to be difficult for somebody to come in behind you and move that if, A, you've got more policies in that home, and B, you've done a good job educating them and created a great solution for them and an affordable solution. It would be very difficult to move that business if another agent came in. So just make sure you're using the right tools. We talk about this. We use those analogies all the time, that you can't use a crowbar for everything. You can't use a hammer for everything. So again, depending on the product, depending on the client, depending on what you're presenting, you want to have a strong and professional educational process. So the next tactic we can talk about is what products do you present? Again, we're kind of on this Medicare theme. We obviously do a lot with Medicare. That's one of our core product lines that we work with our independent agents across the country on. But what products do you present? No doubt every product line we can think of has a multitude of product types. Some are more geared towards a certain type of individual. Some are a bit more expensive and more robust. Some are simplified, less costly. When you think about Medicare products, we've got Medicare Advantage, we've got Medicare Supplements, we've got Group Retiree, Group Medicare products. The under 65, we have the ACA plans, we have limited medical, we have short-term medical, we have the cost sharing or the Christian faith-based programs. So again, with every product out there, there is a multitude of options or solutions. Not only do we need to understand those solutions thoroughly, but it might be important to come prepared with some comparison charts or be prepared to, through our education, talk about those other solutions. Because if you don't, the problem you might run into at the end of a presentation is, I'll get back to you, I'll think about it, I want to talk to some other sources. Well, as an independent agent, hopefully you are that one source that can provide details and solutions on all of those matters. And if you're upfront with your client that you do represent a multitude of products, that you're going to educate them on all of those, that you're going to take them through some of the variety of solutions, you can help show them side by side how those products work, which ones check which boxes, the pros, the cons, and kind of go through that with them in detail while answering the questions. No doubt they're going to feel more comfortable with you and more comfortable with making a decision to move forward. So again, be prepared, know your products, know the competition, and ultimately be a full resource to your clients who you're meeting with. And in this example, we see a couple of comparison charts that we've built for Medicare Supplement versus Medicare Advantage. Those being two core products within the Medicare space, are you able to talk to those benefits? Even if you say, hey, I don't get certified, I only do Medicare Supplements, that's okay. Can you at least speak to what a Medicare Advantage is, what it does, and how it's structured so your clients feel better educated about those solutions? Next, we want to talk about how to, again, build a better client, not just a customer. So, do you package sell? That's something that we don't see agents doing a whole lot. I'll tell you, the agents who do it quite often are the successful agents. And I talk to agents who are out there who have a huge client book of business. One was just in my office this Monday. We were meeting, and we were talking about the thousands of clients he's now built up in the Medicare space over his years in this business. He talks about all of the other product lines between dental vision, hospital indemnity, final expense, and other programs that he is well versed in, so that not only can he help put the right solution into that client's hands who is in need and concerned about that, but he is able to show them how those solutions work hand in hand. So for example, here you talk about, and we do have training sessions, so if you want to dive into package and cross-selling, not only do we have a whole system developed, we have a lot of training to help assist you if that's something you've never done before. But here's just a simple example, again on this Medicare theme, how you can effectively package sell. Because you don't want to just pull out every policy that you know about, put it on the table. And we know with Medicare Advantage there are restrictions, so you have to keep within the scope of appointment. So do things ethically there. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're building a solution in a way that is understandable to your client. And see, clients are not well versed in insurance, or usually aren't well versed in insurance and aren't experts like yourself. So you need to show it to them in a way that makes sense. And what makes sense to our clients and our prospects are solutions, not policies. Sometimes we get hung up and we know the policy so well, we can rattle off benefits and know all about the structure of them, and ultimately, if we try to present it that way, we're going to lose our clients. They're not going to understand it. And ultimately, if they can't understand what they're purchasing, they're probably not going to be in a buying position. But if we can show them a solution that is attached to benefits that mean something to them, people care about their family being protected. They care about their nest egg. They care about not having to pay high out-of-pocket expenses. They care about keeping within a budget. They care about being able to go see a doctor when they travel. Those are the social benefits that matter to a client. So when we build out a package selling approach, we want to, and in this case, if you look at those pages, what it did was it built out maybe multiple policies, but it put all those policies, blended them together into a solution. So like you see comprehensive plus expenses, comprehensive or basic. That is not diving into detail about 4 or 5 different policies. That is diving into solution. Now you get to show your client, here is comprehensive plus expenses solution A. Now you go through, here's what this will provide, here's what this protects you from. And at the end, that solution, maybe packaged with a few different plans, is a solution to them and has a premium. So they're going to at some point understand that there might be 2 or 3 products that are involved, but if you explain it in a way that makes sense and now is packaged as one comprehensive solution, that's more understandable, and that's easier for clients to move into. I remember going out many years ago and training some agents who were getting into the health insurance industry, and we were meeting with some clients of theirs, and we were at a restaurant establishment. Some of the employees were getting into it, and we sat down, and through a few simple questions that I was able to ask, how's your health? Do you have any family health history? Do you have any concerns of your own? Do you go see a dentist? You have kids. Are they active in sports? Do you have any family health history of heart, cancer? Yes, I do. Are those a concern to you? Would you like a program that would help benefit you if that were to occur? Yes, absolutely. So by asking questions while you're leading into these solutions, not only are you building a better solution, but you're addressing items that they said they're already concerned about. You've already gotten a verbal buy-in from them. So when you go to explain it, hey, remember, this was that program that we talked about. If your kids get hurt while they're playing sports, it's going to pay for some of those deductibles and co-pays. If you're ever diagnosed with cancer or have heart problems, this is going to pay above and beyond what health insurance pays. And you can see the buy-in. And ultimately, you get done with the explanation, go, that's the one I want. Now, we know that we just packaged together and pieced together a more comprehensive solution, speaks to their needs. Obviously, they saw the premium and it was within budget, and they made the choice. You were able to present a better solution. And now they feel confident and comfortable that they did a better thing, you did a better thing for them, and they move forward. And there you have it. There's an easy way. You walked away from that particular presentation with potentially 3 or 4 sales. So it's not that difficult. We have to get past this fear of presenting more than one solution because most people need more than one solution. We get into our next part, good question to ask is, do you build the need for future coverage and solutions? So we talked about package selling, but do we talk about cross-selling? And I think I mentioned this in our last part. We have a whole series of lead training coming up with our lead trainer, Don Runge, and he's going to be diving into activating your book of business, how to cross-sell. Well, we're going to talk for a moment here how to cross-sell before they're your clients. It's important both from the client profile sheet, conversation you have, to the solution that you present and the educational process. You need to be building on those items and preparing them for the future conversations. So, for example, here, if we're talking about Medicare, we talk about other needs and exposure that Medicare itself does not cover. Are we talking about other exposure they have through their health insurance plan? Are we talking about life insurance? And though now maybe their family's protected from that, do they have needs or concerns for disability or long-term care? So just about every insurance product you might sell, you can think of other products that would fit that person at that point in their life, that point in their career, or someone in their family. And if you are prepared and know your stuff, that's going to get you those referrals and get you in the cross-selling. So using this as an example, here are some forms that we created that as you're presenting Medicare, if you're going through Medicare plans or parts A and B, C and D, and then you're talking about solutions, while you're going through that, you're hopefully identifying what their exposure is, where they're not covered. Well, guess what? One of the areas they're not covered is long-term care expenses. Now, we know that long-term care is not frequently talked about. It's how I got into this industry 23 years ago, so it's still a topic I'm very passionate about, and I think it's something agents need to do a better job with. There are less solutions available today, but there are still solutions. But if you're talking about Medicare, you should be educating them on the fact that they do not have full coverage and that they are not fully covered for those long-term care expenses. So these forms, if you're not an expert and can't speak to this, you can take them into these supplemental forms we created. You can explain to them what is and what is not covered by Medicare, what their potential risk is, what their potential exposure is, and how they can, if they so choose, be prepared with the solution. Now, you don't want to be too confusing, so that's probably a solution you come back with. But if they say, yes, I am concerned about that topic, I've seen it happen, I lived through it with my parents, I've lived through it with a spouse or a sibling, you now know that that is a major hot topic to that person. You should be going back and you should be discussing it with them. But by presenting it this way, you're not attacking them with more products. You're not overselling anything. You are simply educating them better. And as we know, education is one of the tactics within our strategy we have to use, educating them so they better understand the risk and know that you can offer a solution. So these are forms that can be used. There are other forms we have for other product lines. But again, it is something that you should be doing if you're not already with the current sales model and strategy. Next, we talk about tactics. What is your follow-up and client satisfaction process? Okay, so this is important. I talk to agents all the time, and unfortunately, they probably concentrate on one product, and they go in, they buy leads, they sell that one product, and they move along, and then those clients never hear from them again. So that's unfortunate. We would encourage you to not do it that way, but what would be important in today's environment with so many low-cost solutions is to take those clients, take those prospects, whether sold, not sold, and put them into a CRM, put them into a marketing platform. If you go back and you see our previous presentation to this, we do have some highlighted and suggested CRM and marketing platforms, but it's important to put those in there because as part of your strategy, which you'll understand when you listen to that, you need something like this. You don't want to have a filing cabinet now full of names. You want something where you can load in those client profile sheets, you can put notes in the system, you can alert yourselves to follow up, to run quotes, to do a whole multitude of things to better engage with that client. Then they can have regular engagement with you without you having to physically pick up the phone or do a lot of heavy lifting. You might send them a thank you email once in a while or even a letter. These systems can be programmed to go to a print shop, print off a letter, and have that mailed to your client, and you don't have to do the work. It can do it on a periodic basis based on different strategies you put in there. So, for example, you see this little thing in green with kind of the, drip down marketing process. You can build out rules of a process that says, this client buys this product, I send this letter to them. If they don't buy this product, I follow up with this series of letters or emails to them 4 different times, and then I call. So you have a strategy. You have an engagement process. You have a follow-up process. But in order to do that effectively and realistically, we have to have some of those things automated. So I would, again, highly recommend getting involved with a CRM and a marketing tool. And in many cases, those are free of charge or a very low monthly cost. I've talked to some agents who recently shared some other options with me, and even for a paid subscription, you might be talking in the $20 to $30 a month range, so something still very affordable and very worthwhile when you see the true use and ability of these programs. So again, here we have talked about a multitude of tactics. Again, as a reminder, we talked about these questions or asked ourselves these questions. Do we come prepared? What do we bring with us? How do we collect data and details from these persons? What is your educational process? What products do you present and are you prepared for? Do you package sell? Do you build the need for cross-selling and future solutions or future meetings where you can engage with family and friends to become a referral, for them to become a referral source to you? What is your follow-up and client satisfaction process? You want to keep these people happy. You want to make sure that they're comfortable, that they know you're there for them when something happens. Remember, there's one of the reasons we get renewals, because we're supposed to be continuously engaging with our clients and making sure that the solutions are proper and that they know what they have and that it works for them. So again, all of these are important questions, but these are all sales tactics. If you just did one of them, you might do okay and you might make a few sales. But when you do all of these and when you have an answer to each of these and you've addressed each of these, well, now you've got a real process, a real strategy that's going to help you do a better job, be a better advisor in the marketplace. Your clients are going to be happier, and again, you're going to see the growth in that heightened sales activity having this in place. So again, very important across the board. And I know I talked about this book in the previous meeting we did, which is the One-Page Marketing Plan. Great book, a lot of nice simplified suggestions on how to better market. And this is one of the worksheets that they hand out. So if you go get this book, or you can contact us and we can assist, it talks about a simple strategy on how to build your marketing plan, what to do during the sale, and then what to do after the sale. And as you fill in these boxes, this will get you thinking, this will get you moving in the direction that we're trying to help push you towards, which is having a strategy for both the marketing, having a strategy for your sales, and then having a true strategy for your follow-up and your continuation in working with those clients. So when you do that effectively, you're going to be that much more successful. And again, if some of those areas you may be lacking in or you might need some help, again, contact us at Insurance Advisors Direct. As an FMO, that's our job. We've got experts on hand. We've got sales professionals who do this for a living, who can train you on products, on selling techniques. We've got the quoting tools. We've got the marketing pieces, selling systems. We've got a marketing team that can build marketing pieces and do graphic design for you and help from a whole host of different areas. So again, utilize those services at your disposal. And if you're not currently working with Insurance Advisors Direct, or you're not currently taking advantage of many of those services and benefits we offer, please do so. That's what we're here for. So we hope to hear from you. Again, here's our contact information, both our 800 number and our website. Feel free to reach out at any time. We'd love to engage, have those conversations with you, and see how we can be of assistance to you in your sales growth. I do appreciate everyone's time. Thank you for joining us today. Again, this video, if you want to go back and view it, will also be recorded and is available on both our YouTube channel, our website, or our LinkedIn profile. So again, thank you for your time. Please enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to working with all of you in the future.